Well, good evening, everybody. Captain Namco here. So, I'm kind of going to do a little bit something different tonight. I've labeled the title the professional bowlers that I would like to meet in person. I mean, there is a long list. I mean, there's so many I wish I could have met, like Dick Weber, but he's gone. No longer with us and all that. But there are still other bowlers still around. I would like to meet, male or female. I don't care. Because I got favorite bowlers on either side. That's kind of what the today's topic is about. I have been into the sport of bowling for many years. I've liked to watch bowling ever since I was a kid. Growing up, I always used to watch the PBA Tour when I was growing up, and as I got older, I had this dream of joining the PBA Tour, but I knew at the same time I knew I'd never get to do that. As much as I would like to, I mean it's one of those things that you got to work hard at to do. You got to work hard. You got to have great mental health. Be in great physical condition, and for the simple fact that you have to be in physical condition because you bowl multiple games, and then you run the risk of getting injured. But the bowlers who face knee injuries quite often, they do and can, I should say, like they're a better word. There's so many bowlers that I idolize, even growing up, such as Pete Weber. He was one of my favorite bowlers. And, now he bowls in the senior tour on the PBA Tour. But, he's definitely one of those ones that I would have liked to meet and, get to bowl a game against him, and do a YouTube video. Right along with Jason Belmonte. He's got the different style. He's a two-handed bowler. And you'll notice that there are various bowling styles out there. Even just in the general league, you got different bowling styles, how people release the ball and all that fun jazz. But still, I'd even like to meet Walter Ray Williams Jr., E.J. Tackett, just to name a few. Even Kyle Troop, Chris Barnes, Mika Koivuaniemi. I would like to meet them guys. Like there's even, I got a PBA Tour yearbook in the closet. Next time I do a live stream video, I'll have to get it out. Now like the female bowlers like Liz Johnson, Danielle McEwen, Shannon O'Keefe, Stephanie Johnson, Kelly Kulick. I would like to meet all them guys. Those are some people I've always been a huge fan of. Now, would it be an honor to meet? Would it actually be an honor to meet a professional bowler that you idolize? I agree. Yeah, it would. But even just to hang out, have a little chit chat, tell them how you bowl. Now, for many years, I was always using the Green Ebonite Nitro, which is over in my brother's room right now. And then my dad surprised me with a new ball. He randomly sends me a picture. And now I throw a Roto Grip Hyped Hybrid. Now that ball is actually drilled from my hand. and I'm getting a much cleaner reaction down the lane versus having to hold the ball really tight just to keep the ball from falling off my hand on my backswing. But, you know, you got to keep your head in the game. I feel like there's so much concentration that you got to put into the sport of bowling. You gotta know lane courtesy and all that fun jazz. Now, the difference between the sport of bowling just in standard leagues, you don't have the shot clock like you do in the PBA Tour. Now, how does that shot clock work? You're probably wondering. That shot clock only allows a bowler so many seconds before they actually run out of time, and then you get a zero. Sometimes you get 20 seconds, sometimes it's 25, whatever they do it now. But I think they do vary. But, I do idolize a lot of bowlers, and it would be a huge honor if I could one day get to meet some of the professional bowlers that I wish I could have a chance to meet at some point. Obviously, I am getting older, and I would like to get that done before I get to the point where I can't do anything anymore. I definitely idolize a lot of people. I look up to people for various reasons, especially in the sport of bowling. If you watch your favorite professional bowler, you can take mental notes based on how they throw the ball, and you can kind of adjust your style, if not the same, if not similar to what they're doing, as their ball transitions down to the backside of the lane and drives through the pins. Other than that, I just the people have to also understand, depends on what center you go to. Also, you have various different kinds of pins that they use on the PBA Tour. Now, in recent years, like around 2001, the women's tour did actually use twister pins on their tour. They were the WIBC brick style twisters. Then the men's tour used it, and I think in 2004 to 2005 at one point. But now they use Brunswick Max pins, and I think a lot of players had to adjust. I think players had to adjust accordingly on how the pins reacted too. Now, we all know that every pin is different, and they have different reactions. So it does affect how a bowler's ball drives through the pins. Like sometimes people say that with the synthetic pins, you get ringer 10s, stoned 8s, or anything like that. Not necessarily true. This is all determined on how your ball drives through the pins at the backside of the lane. I've seen female bowlers struggle even with wooden pins. Have a hard time hitting the pocket or finding the pocket, lack thereof. But I really idolize those professional bowlers that I mentioned, and to me, that would be, I don't know how to put it. It'd be a huge honor just to be able to be in the same bowling alley as any professional bowler, really, and be able to get to watch him in person bowl. I've always dreamed of wanting to do that. Like I said, ever since I was a kid, I've always had this dream of wanting to become a professional bowler. But in order to do that, you got to carry a certain average, not just in one house. It's more in one bowling alley. You got to carry a certain average. Now, pro bowlers do have to adjust accordingly to lane surfaces. Wood lanes, the oil reacts differently versus synthetic. The ball just doesn't. Sometimes the ball doesn't always read the lane as it would as if the lane was wooden. The only difference is with synthetic lanes, the oil stays there for a while. So it does take a little bit for the lanes to dry up. Versus a standard wooden lane, it absorbs oil so that the lanes will dry out a little quicker. So as a professional bowler is going through a match, and if you've watched the PBA Tour, you'll notice that over time that the oil will start to break down. So how would a bowler be able to adjust on that? Well, just follow your ball. When the lane starts to break down, you'll need to make that proper adjustment. I mean, you're bowling 2-3 games on a single oil pattern, and just in that time frame, what happens is that the oil pattern will break down, and it kind of flattens out on one side, and you have a boatload of oil right there in the middle, and it's just nothing but dryness on the outside of that remainder part of the oil pattern in the center part of the lane. Now, professional bowlers, they go to the U.S. Open. Oil patterns are much different compared to a standard PBA Tour event. The U.S. Open oil pattern is much difficult compared to what they are used to bowling on. I mean, you miss just a crack on a U.S. Open oil pattern, the ball's going to go through the nose of the pins. You're going to spell disaster, and you're going to have a hard time. The biggest key for any professional bowler heading into the U.S. Open tournaments is to make your spares, leave makeable spares, and avoid the opens. And that's what a lot of people, I don't think, really understands what kind of mental notes that bowlers have to take until they actually physically see it for themselves, or actually having to bowl on a pattern like that. So, but yeah, I would definitely like to meet a professional bowler and actually get to interview them. I mean, everybody has their set ways of, preparing themselves for a match play game. So, I mean, you got the round of 8s, you got the round of 16s, you got the round of 32, and vice versa in the PBA Tour. So, I mean, there's just so many bowlers that I wish I could meet. Just too many to list. I mean, honestly, it would be a huge honor, like I said, to meet a pro bowler. I mean, I would really like to do it. I mean, I just watched the PBA Tour here on YouTube just a little bit ago, and in the PBA Tour 50 event, Pete Weber actually won the title again. And again, a huge congratulations to him. And I can't wait to see what the next several years brings for Pete Weber. I mean, Pete Weber, he's a very intense bowler in my opinion, but he's a good guy. He bowls really well out there. But the thing is, don't ever get on his backside. On his not his backside, but his bad side is what I'm trying to say. Never get on his bad side. You always want to stay on the good side with a PBA bowler, especially during a game. If you guys remember, back in 2012, this that event that he did, that match he did where he won title number 4. Where he went up against Jason Belmonte in that one match. And I tell you, then he moved on to face Mike Fagan. I mean, Jason Belmonte, he always wanted to be able to bowl in a match against Pete Weber. And, you know, his dream was actually fulfilled back then in around 2012. I watched that event. I like to watch it multiple times. And, I mean, just sitting there watching, you got to have a lot of focus. You got to tune out everything that's going on around you. I know it might not be easy, but I really wish that the PBA Tour would return to St. Clair Bowl in Fairview Heights, Illinois, so I can actually watch a professional bowler event. I mean, Pete Weber is the one for the. Who you think you are? I am. He is who you think you are. He is who you think he is. It's Pete Weber. I mean, kudos to all the professional bowlers and all the work they have to do to prepare themselves mentally and physically for the sport of bowling. I mean, you got a lot of preparations to do. But I hope and pray that I get to meet some of my favorite bowlers. Oh, sorry about that. But I seriously hope and pray that my wish will come true, because it's something I've always wanted to do. That's something I've always wanted to do, and I really hope I get a chance to do it. So, with that said, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this little random live stream. I know it's not very long, but like I said, I really hope, and I do really want to meet some of my favorite pro bowlers. I really do. And I hope and pray that one day that this will change. It would actually mean the world to me to be able to meet some of my favorite professional bowlers. That's what I would like to do. And I hope and pray that one day I will be able to do it. So, with that said, we'll see you at the claw machines tomorrow at the bowling alley for a restock video. and possibly collecting. We'll see. So with that said, before I go, I always want to remind you guys that Jesus loves you, and have a wonderful day, everybody. And maybe stay tuned for a possible bowling video as well. So again, you want to stay tuned. And in order to stay tuned for everything that I do, you need to make sure that you are subscribed. And it does not cost a dime to subscribe to my channel. It is 100% free. So please feel free to subscribe, leave and hit that post bell notification icon, hit all notifications to be notified for everything that I do, from vacuum videos, videos on the vehicles, small engine videos. So there is that. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. Like I said, I know it wasn't very long, but you do want to hit all notifications instead of personalized. Personalized, how that works, you'll only see notifications of only certain things that you like. So there is that. I do have some exciting things coming up as far as Bible, some scripture reading be coming up. I'll be doing that I'll probably be doing that this weekend, probably, where we'll be reading out the Gospel Minutes thing, and I'll have to get a new one every time I go to church. That way I can read them and share them with you. If you guys haven't seen last night's live stream, or the other night whenever I did it, you will want to go back and watch that, because there is some very powerful messages in those Gospel Minute videos, in these articles that you read. Some churches do have them, some do not. So I highly encourage you to pick up one of those if you are a Christian, you go to church and things like that. So there is that. All right. So with that said, everybody, hope you all have a great night. We'll see you next time. Stay tuned for restock videos coming up this week, and we'll see you guys at the claw machines. Before I go, I always want to remind you guys that Jesus loves you. Have a wonderful night, everybody. I'm your host, Captain Namco, saying thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.